Years ago I read Zecharia Sitchins books. Sometimes referred to as the Earth Chronicles Series, these books sparked my curiosity for alternative historical perspective. Suddenly my mind was opened to new concepts I could understand. A plausible solution regarding how we got here questions left unanswered by modern education. I am not saying I believe all of everything I read, however I look for correlations. In these books I began to notice something odd in the Sumerian depictions. Recurring pictures of eagle-headed men carrying small bags or what seemed to be, by my modern woman's mind, to be purses. The men also had small pine cones in their hands, and floral watches. Sometimes there was a tree of sorts in the midst of these beings. Other times there were flying winged-like things, a Huram Mazda-like, as well as dolphins. Just as a quick aside, I found out that the god Oannes, the fish head god, is the inspiration for the Pope's mitre. Check it out, fish eye and all. Another purse too. Okay, moving on. Central American ancient Olmecs had purses. I noticed this stone carving from La Venta. To me this is a depiction of a man sitting inside what the artist depicts as a powerful snake or dragon type technology. He has a helmet on and he uses his purse on the dashboard to power up his ship. So is his purse a battery pack? The guy powering up his snake mobile craft is an Olmec artifact from Central America, showing the same technology as in ancient Sumer. It gets better. I was browsing pictures of the fabulous Gobi Clete archaeological site in Turkey. This site dates back to over 11,000 ago. All of a sudden, what do I see on top of one of the pillars? 3 purses. Are those depictions of current under them? I am very excited now as I just read Christopher Dunn's amazing book, The Giza Power Plant. Chris' idea that the pyramids could be part of a network of power generators using a natural forgotten science, was the link my mind needed. Suddenly I saw an ancient Wi-Fi type of system. A free Tesla technology perhaps that a lost global culture enjoyed. All one would need was the tool to tap into the free energy grid. So much more than a battery pack then. Or perhaps just a domain technology. Once I stumbled upon the description of these purses in Matilda McElroy's material, I was again stunned. Her information is gleaned from a being the army captured in the 40s. Alien interview. Read document following a link below this video. In this document one can read the ancient and more recent recounts of Earth's history from the perspective of the domain who have been at war, so to speak, with what they refer to as the Old Empire. This being she interviewed from the domain, asserts the Eagle Men are depictions of domain members. They are documented here using tools to search for domain companions lost on a failed mission to Earth. The Old Empire trap conscious beings, is Bess, here on Earth. Apparently the Old Empire has some kind of electronic net that prevents us from leaving after we die, as well as zaps our memory clean. Apparently the unwanted from all over the place are dumped on Earth to rot in the reincarnation cycle as well. That explains our mixed population. From saints to devils. It is a long story and worth a read. Getting the historical perspective of someone potentially outside Earth culture is invaluable. The Eagle Men use these purses to power their pine cones to scan life forms searching for lost domain members, who died here on Earth. Once that happened, their Venus was reborn here, so had their memory erased. These domain members were then at the mercy of being reincarnated here as any number of life forms, including dolphins. The tree-type thing is actually a portable technology, and the guy in the sky is the coordinator of the domain search team. A Huram Mazda. Sounds far-fetched, you think, but when you read it all it is quite interesting. No wonder our many spiritual teachers are trying to get us off the so-called wheel of karma. Meaning the ability, desire, or need to reincarnate here. The domain originally gave us what we know as the Vedas for that purpose. No worries. It is said the original version is long diluted away of the potent information, lost in translations and politics over the centuries. Imagine if you could remember all your lives. The wisdom you would have. The bank accounts. The being Matilda spoke with had her memory intact and could recall her existence for millions of years back in time. No wonder we don't seem to learn. Back to purses. Here are examples of stone purses I collected from the internet. A bird holding two snakes. Amazing depictions of two scorpions, one tail up, one down. Two currents of electricity. As two lions, and finally the obvious two intertwined serpents. I imagine these artistic depictions of the natural world were individual decorative motif for a personal power purse. Central America is full of balls. Large and small, perfectly round stone balls. I heard a lecture from Hugh Newman on this subject and wondered if my theory about the purses applies also to these mysterious round stones. Hugh mentioned the fact that these stones have been found rarely in situ. However, some that were in situ seemed to be associated with the elite's dwelling. This fact made me suspect them to be like the purses. Were they too a source of power? As we use electricity by plugging in, perhaps the spheres captured the global free energy grid and allowed power to be used locally. The elite of the community would house the sphere. Also, there were curved seats in a museum that I just wondered about. The underside of some seats' artwork seemed to reflect energy generation. I wonder if these stone seats are for the stones in some instances. Maybe I'm deluded, as the stone are most likely too heavy for them. Maybe the stones were not as affected by gravity when functional. Inside some of the stones there have been found small dark stones referred to as coffee beans in legend. Perhaps this inner small stone is key to its function. Researcher David Hatcher Childress said on Easter Island he was shown the most sacred thing to the Icelanders. It was way off on the edge of the island, a stone sphere. Now I say yes, it would be very sacred because it was the free energy device. Please research Chris Dunn and Hugh Newman, then tell me what you think. Perhaps a new look at old things is warranted? Remember what they, J.P. Morgan, told Tesla? That's nice. But it's free. We can't put a meter on it and charge people. Edison 1. We pay power bills. It takes all of us to remember our past. All of us to recognize a functional purse and reclaim our potential balls of power.